I think I'm live. It's showing we're live. A couple of these aren't
Yeah, we're
connected.
live.
Yeah, we are. There we go. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Another great episode of Shady Sports Fantasy Reports. Um, Missed you last week. I was actually going. I went out of town, so last week was a little hectic, a little busy, so really didn't get a chance to get a show going. But anyway, we're back. Justin, how's it going? I'm glad to see you there.
Doing great, doing great. Ready to get back into this and talk some football.
There we go. So I'll go ahead and get this intro going, and we'll get it going. Yeah, man. So I plan to have a new intro by now, but you guys know me. It'll take me forever to get it going. Just
Well,
like the
you're out of
show.
town, so you get a free pass.
Hey, there we go, right? So welcome back, welcome back. We don't see anybody here yet, but hopefully some people will join in. You guys know how we do. We came to bring you the fantasy reports that you want, the issues to
Yes,
help you get
yes.
going. Yeah, so we got drafts coming up these next few weeks. Leagues are gonna be drafting. I know I got a draft coming up. I think on the 30th, I believe it
Ooh, right at
is.
the end. That's a good time to do it. That's when you know all the depth
The
charts will be settled
31st.
in, all the injuries will be cemented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I think I'm probably gonna schedule my league's draft for around then as well. We're just waiting to get one more person, so we're gonna see how
Yeah,
it
I saw
goes.
that.
Yeah, so I mean, if you wanted to join, man, you're more than welcome. But we do need one more person in this league. It's super chill. I think it's $125, 150. I think it's $125 buy-in.
Yeah. I think it'd be
We'll
cool to
see.
get one of the viewers or the watchers in to get in there and see how they
Right?
do up
Yeah.
against
So
you
you guys,
guys.
let me know. Come and join my league. We're pretty active. We're in sleeper. I can send you the link. I'll be happy to send it to you, send it or post it. So let me know in the
Yeah,
comments
yeah, that'd be
if you
cool.
guys want to
Maybe.
come and join in. I'll get you in the chat on that. What about you? Do you have any drafts coming up? Any more leagues
I
put
have
together?
one draft coming up on the 23rd, which is my buddy's league. Other than that, I think it's pretty much settled down. Like all the dynasty drafts have gone and passed by now for me in
Yeah.
the startups, but yeah, now it's just that calm period of just eagerly waiting for the season to start and get drafts going right before the last preseason game.
Right. So yeah, I mean, speaking of calm, getting ready to go on the preseason games that are coming up. I mean, right around the corner this next week, we're rolling to preseason games. I want to go ahead and jump in and get our sponsors out there. We got Cash
Oh
App and
yeah.
Manscaped. Yeah, man, whenever you're hitting up these bars, you know what I'm saying, going to watch these
Mhm.
preseason games or having these draft parties, you want to pay people, go ahead and use Cash App. You can use that code. It'll be in the video. Or, whenever you're getting ready to go out on that date night, take your wife to a game or take your husband to a game and you're looking to have a great time, check out Manscaped. You get 20% off using that code Shady Sports. So let me go ahead and get these videos out of the way, and then we'll get back and we'll get back to talking about this. It was some breaking news, some crazy news, so we'll touch on that for sure.
For sure.
How are you? Bring them things, bring them things. I call the plug, bring them things. I bring them things.
That's money. That's cash out.
Forever you and me. Right by my side, where you ought to be. Cause if I ever were to lose you, I just don't know what I'd do. Let me hear you now.
Yo, that lawnmower is amazing. Let me tell you, firsthand experience. That
Buzzing
thing
this
is
time of the
great.
year.
Buzzing, buzzing. So, I mean, I guess big news, crazy news coming out earlier today. So if you haven't heard, you guys, Christian McCaffrey will not be playing in the preseason.
Wow. But is that to
Huh,
be expected though, with his merit and what he's accomplished?
right? It's like, does he have to have an injury to not be in the preseason? How do you feel about that? Are you
Mm-hmm.
looking deeper into that,
I mean, I'm still kind of I I just it's scary. Soft tissue injuries scare me because once it seems like once they creep into you, they just linger and they stay there, and you never know when it's going to happen quite again. I mean, he's a freak, he's an animal, he's a beast, but at the same time, I hope it's not serious. I didn't read any further into that article on his
yeah.
injury, but I think he should be fine. But it does merit you a little like, do you want to invest at someone that's already getting hurt in the practice, not even a game? But it's Christian McCaffrey. I don't know. I mean, he should be good, right?
But I mean, on top of that, you got Elijah Mitchell dealing with the strained
Oh, that
hamstring.
yeah. Hmm.
So
I don't know what their old depth chart is like. They got to have like 5 or 6
yeah,
running backs, right? Because Cal
let me
Shanahan
pull it
likes his
up.
running backs.
Right? I mean, and they kind of cycle through, what is it? Running backs, quarterbacks, tight
Yeah,
ends.
yeah.
I feel like the 49ers are kind of cycling through those players every year. Multiple, players coming up, stepping in whenever they have injuries. So I guess it's better for Christian McCaffrey to have an injury earlier in the season, right? I
Yeah.
guess, than later in the season.
Yeah. Ideally, you wouldn't want it at all, but it's better when there's no real contact happening versus it being after you invested your first overall draft pick in the guy.
Right? Exactly. So, I think they were prepared for that. Looks like um, they have Matt Breida, Cody Schrader, Isaac Gorindo, Patrick Taylor.
Rondo, I don't.
Let me pull up their depth chart because they do have a stable,
Yeah, because I thought they had a bunch. I mean,
yeah.
more so than other teams.
I guess they don't really. Let's see if I can find their depth chart. But I mean, on top of that, so they're dealing with quite a bit of injuries. On top of that, um, Ricky Purcell re-aggravated his shoulder injury, is what it's
Yeah,
saying.
that's not good. It's another
Also,
first.
so that's is that because I know I feel like last year the Broncos dealt with a bunch of injuries coming out of training camp. Do you think
Mm-hmm.
that's something that you're kind of looking at? Or you staying away from 49er? I mean, I feel like 49er players are always hurt anyway.
Yeah, it's like playing at the casino with them. It's like you bet on black or put it all on red because someone's hurt all the time. If it's not Debo, it's Purdy, and now CMC, Kittle on
Hmm.
and off. So for as high as productive as they are, they're also very volatile in the injury department.
Yeah. But I guess with that being
So
said,
it's kind of
so
like
I
a
guess the question is, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so I'd say just draft at your own risk. I mean, you know the potential and the performance that those guys can put up, but also like maybe factor that in with your draft of like getting some depth at that position at whatever 49er you draft. Like if you get Christian McCaffrey right away, maybe kind of invest in 2 higher tier running backs after that, just in case. Or if you go after Kittle as your tight end, maybe supply your roster with a couple throw in tight ends at the end of the draft just in case of an injury may occur. Just probably be a lot wiser to do than just try to ride or die on their star players.
Right? Because I mean, and then you got Brandon Ayuk with the whole contract
Hmm.
issues. I feel like Deebo Samuel's always hurt. But can you stay away from 49 players though? I feel like their players get points when they're on the field though.
Yeah, see that's the catch. It's like yeah they're hurt, but also man, some couple of those guys can win you weeks almost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
And
yeah, I
it's
mean,
it.
I feel like if you had the chance to get Christian McCaffrey, are you looking at the 49ers running back room for a backup later in your draft, or are you looking to try to get another top tier running back, like you were saying.
I would honestly pursue a top tier running back to go with McCaffrey than because I don't know. I haven't seen much of Jordan Mason. I know Elijah Mitchell is hurt all the time, and the two rookies they drafted, the Goriando and Schrader. I don't know. I'm not familiar with either of those guys' tape and what they have to bring, but
Hmm.
I hope it doesn't get to that bottom of the barrel for the 49ers. But I mean, one
Well, I
strategy
mean,
could be if you're going to take McCaffrey at the 1, you could grab like a solid RB2 right when it comes back to you to
mhm,
just have that security in case if this calf strain is more serious than it is what they say it is.
yeah.
But I typically, when I do my drafts, I don't normally get the handcuffs to any of the Niners players. I just kind of go all in. Like if I'm taking Debo, well, that's my wide receiver there. If I go Kittle, that's my tight end there, and I kind of live
Roll
by the
with it.
sword on that one.
Yeah, yeah. Um, kind of jumping around on this one. So I'm seeing the Vikings have listed Sam Darnold as their starting quarterback in their unofficial draft chart.
All right, all
I
right.
guess with PPR, I guess it doesn't really matter so much because you're probably not
Mm-hmm.
looking at JJ McCarthy anyway. Um, is
So
there
do
a
you think
rookie
if
that?
you're a
Go ahead.
Jefferson owner, are you more comfortable with them having Darnold at the top of the depth chart, or would you feel more comfortable if it was JJ if you
I
had Justin Jefferson?
think if you're a Jefferson owner, you're probably okay with any one of them because
Yeah, okay.
you know with JJ is gonna come out slinging it, so
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna get it to him. But then Darnold, he has a little bit more knowledge, but he still has a little bit more gumption. He's trying to, keep his role, keep his spot. So he's gonna be willing to take a little
I
bit more
see him as
risk
like a
too.
higher tier version of Nick Mullins. Like he'll probably sling it quite a bit, but he isn't going to probably throw as many interceptions or make as many mistakes as a Mullins did last year.
I can see that. Yeah, I kind of shoot. I put him up there with Kirk Cousins. I don't know. It's Kirk Cousins is definitely
Yeah,
on a separate tier
yeah,
from Sam
yeah.
Darnold for sure. But I can see him being that type of quarterback. Where he's definitely looking to throw it first. Though, whereas JJ
Oh yeah,
McCarthy might be a bit trigger happy. Might not let
that Vikings
a
offense is going to be
route.
weird this year. Like I don't even know what to project how it's gonna. Are they gonna run the ball to like kind of hide the quarterback question marks, or are they gonna just high roll it, fire it, sling it to JJ every play, or it's definitely interesting.
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know. I think they're just rolling out Sam Darnold at first because they have to. Like
It's
just
an
like I
easier
was
out
listening
because if
to.
he does, yeah, it's an easier out because if he does bad, well, then we'll go to the rookie versus if they put out JJ and he gets exposed, then they're kind of like, oh, shit, we drafted this guy, and now we're kind of in a SOL situation, and just roll
Well,
Darnold
and
out
it's
there
a
to,
preseason too. Yeah, I mean they
yeah,
gotta show like they gotta make it look like they give McCarthy a battle. They drafted him for a
mm-hmm,
reason. He's gonna start.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
gonna be out there. But like, there's no reason for him to be out there in the first game anyway. Like, let him go out in
mm-hmm,
the second quarter, or third quarter, or whatever in the first game, and not
yeah.
necessarily have to come out there right away. So, but I mean, with that being said, does that kind of lower Justin Jefferson's draft value?
I mean, I think I'm still taking him in the first round, obviously, but like, I can see him maybe sliding to the middle of the first now instead of being one of those top 3 picks. And if you're sitting there in the middle of your draft, I'd be happy if he fell to me. If I had to choose between him and like an AJ Brown or an Amon-Ra St. Brown or even a Bijan Robinson, I'd be okay taking him in that middle part of the draft if he fell that far. I don't
Yeah.
think it's going to affect his drafts too much, but it cause a couple people in your league to be like, I don't know about this Vikings QB room, so I'm gonna just stay away from it.
Yeah, I feel like yeah. What are some other running wide receiver rooms that you can think of that you probably would stay away from?
Probably the Chargers, because I don't know who's coming out of that room as far as fantasy producers right away off the bat. I mean, last year it was just mainly Josh Palmer until Keenan Allen came back healthy because Mike Williams was gone right away. I think another wide receiver room I'd be staying clear of would be the Browns, because I just don't trust Deshaun Watson to throw the football, or if he's healthy or whoever it is throwing
Well,
them.
speaking of
Yeah.
those two teams though, I just saw here Justin Herbert has an injury. He'll be out for at
Oh.
least 2 weeks. So he's gonna be
Oh.
he'll wear a boot for 2 weeks, but he'll be ready for the start of the season. So
Yeah.
that says a lot to start the season. You know, there's not gonna be that connection maybe so much. So
Yeah. It's definitely going to be shelved.
yeah, coming into the season. So I think that is definitely like right on par with that. And then with the Browns, yeah, Jerry Jeudy, he's coming off a knee
Oh, yeah.
injury, so
Mm-hmm.
he's been limited. He's not their entire receiving room, but like you said, you know, with Deshaun Watson, I mean, you can't really put your faith in him right now.
Yeah. We haven't seen it for what, 2 years now?
Yeah, he played a little bit last year.
Yeah. I mean, probably to wrap it up, another wide receiver room I'd probably avoiding. I know this is a hot take, maybe because of what they brought in, but the New York Giants, like, I don't know if Daniel Jones and that offensive line are going to give them receivers enough time to, like, make plays or get the ball to them. I mean, they're probably quality wide receivers, and I don't doubt the talent of Malik Neighbors, but Daniel Jones was getting killed last year, and he got hurt for it, and Barkley got hurt for it. And if their line isn't improved, I just don't know how consistently and effectively those wide receivers are producing fantasy points for you if the quarterback can't even get him the ball.
Yeah.
Because also,
Dang.
I don't know about if they're going to be running either. If they can't run the ball effectively, defenses will just play the pass, and then they kind of become predictable, and it makes it even more harder to get the ball to them because defenses are just, double covering people and just playing soft to counter the pass because they know they ain't got nothing in the run.
Mhm. Mhm. So true. One I'm definitely staying away from too. I'd say is the Broncos.
What? Your
Yeah, man.
Broncos, you're staying away?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've been hearing some bad things about Mims coming out of camp, and like normally I look
What
at
about
one, I feel
Franklin?
like there could be that connection. There could be
Mm.
that connection, and it could be
Is
the
it more
whole.
the
Go
so
ahead.
your end of it is more the wide receivers and not so much Bo Nix being what's scaring you
Yeah,
away from the?
well, I mean, we're gonna see. I mean, I feel like we'll get to see a good amount of basic plays here in the preseason, so we'll get to see a good basis on and I'll know whether I'm gonna pick up
Man,
on
I
Bo
wish I would
Nix,
have
but
known
I'm.
sooner. I drafted a couple Broncos wide receivers in my drafts this offseason, thinking maybe Bo
Did
Nix
you?
is going to be the answer.
Did you really?
Yeah, I
Oh
drafted
man,
Sutton in a lot of places, and then I
Sutton
took.
might not even be with the Broncos though. Come week 4, he may
But
be
towards
somewhere
the end of
else.
my drafts, I also took Troy Franklin in a lot of my leagues.
No, but I can see that if they hook up, especially being teammates, having that connection.
Mm-hmm.
I think that does go a long way, especially going into any situation. You go into a situation with somebody
Yeah.
already. You know what I mean? Like you're that much more confident and you're that much more locked in. You know what I mean? You don't have to work on that. You don't have to work on that. On that. What's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, you know what I'm saying. You don't have to work on that connection.
Mm-hmm.
You already
It's
have
already
it. You already
established
have
it.
it. It's already
Yeah.
established. So you're not. So hopefully they do strike. I feel like there's definitely some plays built in for them, honestly. To strike fire, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not expecting them to be anything drastic. Again, like like we say every episode, they're in
Hmm.
a crazy division, man. Like it's a
They're gonna have
hard
to throw to keep
division.
up
Yeah,
and score
it's not like the
points.
Lions, man, where the Lions, got it established. The Lions are kind of the top dogs right now. Everybody else is kind of rebuilding over there in that
Hmm.
division. Like figuring out their identity. And in our division, the
Yeah.
Broncos, they gotta kind of figure out their identity, figure it out quick. I think it'll be more of a running team, and I think that'll play into it as well too. I don't think
Okay.
if it's Bo Nix, we're not gonna see like 300, 350 yard games. So how many yards really is there to go around to the receivers either way? So,
Hmm.
and if it's Jared
So
Stidham,
you're
Jared
thinking out
Stidham
that
ain't
wide
lighting
receiver
nothing
room.
up, huh?
Yeah. So you're thinking now, if you've already drafted, I'm just saying for a friend, if you already drafted some of these Broncos wide receivers, are you looking to trade them out, or is it
Well,
safe
I
to hold
mean, you
on to them?
better, hopefully they look good, so maybe you can get rid of them quick. But no, you better get some
Just wait for
solid
a hot week and
backups.
be like, yeah, take this.
Yeah, right. Hopefully they come out in the preseason because they're gonna probably play a lot in the preseason, right?
Yeah. Do you
But
think
I mean, it's
Ayuk
the
comes to
preseason,
town?
huh?
Does it change if Ayuk comes to town? Like, they give the checkbook to Brandon and tell
Oh
him come
man,
on in.
see that changes a lot, right? Because then you got a solid over the top guy, right? I
Yeah.
think that could help a rookie for sure. Um,
Hmm. Because
I
you said
think
they have the money, right?
I mean, they're the richest ownership group, so I mean, in theory, yeah, they have
Yeah.
the money, right? But
Because if there's a lot of fans like you feeling a little bit weary on the wide receiver room, and if I'm that owner, I'd be like, hell yeah, let's get Brandon
right,
and Ayuk in here. Name your
go
price,
get them in
bro.
here, man. They could. There's quite a bit of receivers they could probably go after, but man, I don't know. We'll see. We haven't had a 1,000 yard receiver since what was it 2019, 2018?
Wow, that is a while now.
Yeah, so it's
Oof.
been a while. So um I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what they do, and then we still got our tight end. They just got so many question marks. I'd stay away from the Broncos receivers, man.
Oh man, yeah. Because in one league I drafted Greg Dulcich too as my
Oh,
backup tight
why?
end.
Why
As my
would you do
backup tight
that?
end. As a
Okay,
backup. He
I
was
mean, because
sitting
if he
there.
pops,
Yeah.
he pops, right? Like that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like I think you got to know that there might not be upside, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, if there is upside, it should be big. Because like I mean, what Cortland Sutton had like I don't know. I just don't think there's any relevance as far as
Yeah.
like
Okay.
what
Well,
you
that's
would
good to know.
need. Maybe like a good plug and play, like if you can find like a solid week where you feel like they're gonna pop, but I don't think there'll be
Yeah.
any consistency, honestly.
Because that league I was referring to, I ended up taking Trey McBride as my starting tight end, so I would only
See,
have to
so
use.
I guess that's
Yeah.
a hard one too, right? Like, yeah, they
Yeah.
kind of go in the flow. Like, you'll see which one it goes to, and I mean, hey, if Greg Dulcich is healthy, you I don't think you count him out. He's
Mm-hmm.
definitely a middle of the road tight end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
um,
my thinking was that the Broncos are gonna have to throw the ball and somebody has to catch it. So I mean, it was late enough in the draft that he was still there. So I was like, I'll take the chance.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, somebody has to get some yards, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many yards went around last year with Russell Wilson? So,
The 26 touchdowns too, I believe.
26 touchdowns for sure. But I think Cortland Sutton had like 10 of those.
Okay.
And then I think the rest were kind of scattered around. I don't think there was really a solid. So I mean, yeah, Cortland Sutton's a solid pickup. Maybe like as a good third or fourth receiver
Do
down
you
the
think
road.
that because you say that you think that he might not be staying? Do you think like the Broncos do a thing where like we'll trade you Sutton for Ayuk?
Yeah, right. That won't even work. 49ers will be like, yeah, nah, we're good.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, they'd
I
be
hope they're
like,
not listening.
yeah, maybe Sutton and some money.
Yeah.
or some picks, maybe even. We don't even have any picks, I don't think, to trade away.
Oh, really? Oh, damn.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, too, I don't know. They're just gonna be really, really subpar,
Yeah.
really average. So I don't know if I would. Maybe running backs. I'd probably look at Broncos running backs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, somebody has to get yards somewhere,
Somebody.
right?
And
So
which
maybe
I'm
like
thinking out of that, I don't know what the depth chart is at the moment, but I got sneaky good feelings on McLaughlin right now.
he's definitely
Like,
gonna be a good like change of pace third down back.
I like, give Javante his honest chance. He's been hurt, so he hasn't had like the ability to just take the workload and run with it. But like, I mean, I like McLaughlin's pass catching ability. Like he'd be a good friend for Bo Nix out of the backfield. But I don't. It could be Estimate too, or it could be Watson. I don't know. I think you're right though. I think you have a good beat on that situation where it could be anybody at this moment, and it's probably not worth the risk to try to reach for one of them in drafts right now.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like unless you're in a league with diehard Bronco fans,
Oh yeah, for sure.
you should be able to pick them up in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can kind of see like once
Yeah.
you see where the preseason goes, you can kind of go and snatch one up. But I don't think you, or even at the end of your draft, maybe like one of whichever you think is gonna be the top
Mm-hmm.
one, because you should be able to go back, and always flip for the other one. But I don't think you should use a pick on any one of them. I wouldn't,
Yeah.
and I'm always tempted to. If they're there, I'm probably gonna do it just cause. But
Mm-hmm. Well, see, it's good. It's good insight to have as from someone who is a Broncos fan to like someone who isn't, that doesn't have that like much knowledge in the team of whether like you see these players in the draft and be like, should I, shouldn't I,
right,
maybe? Because
yeah,
like
like you see them.
I think team bias plays a lot into people's draft strategy. I mean, people who are fans of teams are like more likely to take like a Hurts first overall if they're a Eagles fan, or like take like a Bijan Robinson first overall because they're a Falcons fan or something like that. Like crazy. I've seen some pretty interesting first rounds out of leagues, and then finding out later that these people I'm drafting with are fans of the teams or really big diehards into some of these players that they believe in, and then to others it seems like a reach, but to them it feels like the perfect fit.
Yeah, right. Got some sound effects. Yeah, that's how it feels when you like go after those players.
Yep.
That just because they're part of your home team, unless
Mhm.
you have a good team though, like like the
Mhm.
Lions. Obviously, like if you have a chance to get any of the players, from Detroit,
Mhm.
you're probably gonna get them because 9 times out of 10 they're gonna be at least in the top 8, top 10
Yeah.
of their position. So, but the majority of teams, the majority of fans, for us Broncos fans, for Giants fans, for Jaguar kind of right there in the bubble,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know, maybe, you know.
For
Chiefs
sure.
fans though, let's go. Would you pick up any Chiefs receivers? How do you feel about that? Besides Kelsey, outside of Kelsey, who are you
Outside of
grabbing?
Kelsey, my Chiefs wide receiver room ranking tier is it goes Rasheed Rice at the 1, Hollywood Brown at 2, Xavier Worthy at 3, and then probably Kadarius Tony at 4, and
Oh,
then yeah, like it's between him or Sky Moore, but after that it's because the Justin Watson injury, I don't know how serious that is. Otherwise, I'd have him above those other two. But again, I don't think I'm reaching for Chiefs wide receivers in drafts this year just because I don't undervalue that Holmes to Kelsey connection. Like, that's his guy. If he's gonna throw the ball, he's gonna more times than not look for Kelsey and throw it to him. I mean, those other guys are just big play. Like, they'll rip off a 60, 70-yard catch possibly for a touchdown. But as
Yeah,
far as
catch the
like
defense
volume,
sleeping.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Catch the defense sleeping. Whereas, like, if you want volume and production, it's for sure Kelsey. And then again, those wide receivers are young, so this is the year to prove it, show it. Because if they ball out this year, like, their draft stock going into next year is just gonna fly off the roof. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes freaking throwing it to you.
Right?
Anything could happen.
Right? Hey, well, let's take a break really quick. I'm gonna
Oh,
throw the Shady Sports promo. Let's come back here in a couple seconds, and then there's something I just saw I want to talk about. See how you feel about it.
oh, cool, cool.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I just saw this. I guess it was posted a few hours ago, like 3 hours
Okay.
ago, from at Jayhawks season. It just says the Patriots are now aggressively pursuing 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk and have showed willingness to pay him like a top 5 receiver, per at Mike Reese. And I imagine that's
Wow.
on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Let me see
And
if I
they
can
just
find it on
drafted 2
X.
wide receivers this year and brought in KJ Osborne.
Yeah, but Ricky Purcell's hurt. Oh, you talking about
Yeah, the Patriots. I'm trying to think of how
the
that works
Patriots?
because they drafted Polk and Baker. They picked up KJ Osborne, and then they still have that Demario Douglas guy from last year, and, well, Thornton, but I think he's just a failed draft pick at this point.
Yeah.
But man, going to the Patriots, possibly with Drake May throwing the ball. Oy vey. That
Yeah.
could be interesting.
Looks like they're, I mean, looking on his X page, Mike Reese, he definitely says the 49ers are now willing to listen to trade offers.
Wow. Open that checkbook.
We'll see. That's crazy though. And then I saw like, who was it? Who did the Patriots draft? Drake May and the quarterbacks?
Oh, Joe Milton.
Joe Milton. I heard Joe Milton's been killing it.
Yeah, I've been watching actually that quarterback battle, and he's outplaying Drake May significantly,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, but like, I feel if you're a team and you don't have a solid, defined alpha number one wide receiver, why not
Go get one.
send offers? Like, feel it out, like, show interest. Because, like, I mean, it would suck to us for fantasy values if he goes to teams like the Panthers or like somewhere where the offense is just not a good situation. Like, that's going to hurt his value, whereas his NFL value will go up because he'll be a higher, target. But man, yeah, if like even even a team that wants to contend or like go for a Super Bowl, like, adding him to your wide receiver room can't hurt.
Yeah.
But it's just
That
how
is
much you want to
true.
mortgage
Like,
the franchise for it.
you're gonna have to mortgage a lot for it, so you better
Hmm.
have everything else in place, right?
Yeah, I know
Like you
for my Lions, like, I'm set. I don't feel like we need him, and we're pretty good in
no.
our wide receiver room. But like you said earlier with the Broncos, or teams that just have like question marks going up, I'd be opening my ears and listening to what they would be interested in for acquiring him. Because he's
Yeah.
not no scrub, but he's also not, I think, a full-on wide receiver one at this point. He's a
Well, why is
solid,
that
like,
though?
what?
Is it because I feel
I think
like
it's because I think his value is hurt because he's got CMC there and Debo, and they're basically multifaceted like weapons. They're both running back wide receivers, whereas Ayuk is just a wide receiver, and he kind of gets lost in that with also having Kittle there. And I think it just there's so many weapons, and Kyle Shanahan just wants to funnel that offense through McCaffrey. So like if he were to go other places that are looking for a solid wide receiver to get some help, he could, raise his fantasy value and whatnot, which would be interesting to see how his draft stock would go up or down, depending on if he does get moved before the season. Because yeah, like a lot of leagues like your own, drafting that close to the season starting, and say he's on like the Jets or the Patriots or I don't know, any other team, like how does that affect people looking at him in drafts? Because he won't have that chemistry with the other team or the other quarterback. And,
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's gonna go to a team that has a solid number one. So I don't think it'd be like the Jets, or a team. Yeah. So it'd have to be a team that needs a solid number one if he's gonna go somewhere first and foremost, because they're not gonna pay him that much money unless they need him and they need a number one, and they don't feel like they'll be able to find a number one in the draft. Because a lot of teams are going to the draft too, so like it's probably gonna be not a team that's going for a championship, right?
I don't
So
think so. But like, also, like, how do you think his value is going to be if he ends up? They don't end up. The situation doesn't get any better. They don't move him, and he's still like kind of like apprehensive about practicing or being out there and playing.
yeah,
Like, are you try if by the time your draft league starts and his situation hasn't changed, are you moving him down your draft board, or are you keeping him where he's at, or even
I think he's gonna stay where he's at. Honestly, I mean, I feel like
okay?
I watched people in my league draft Kamara last year. Even with his suspension, at a fairly early spot. I think he maybe dropped to like the, fifth or sixth round, maybe a little lower, but still like in the middle round. So I think that's where Ayuk's gonna go anyway. Like he's gonna be one of those like maybe like third, fourth round receivers,
Okay.
maybe second
Yeah.
round, right? So
Yeah.
I don't think you're picking up Ayuk as your number one receiver anyway. I think you're
I
getting
hope
Ayuk
not.
on the second.
That'd be an
Yeah,
interesting
right.
strategy.
Right. So I think you're getting him on your second go round, your third go round anyway. So I don't think it really changes so much where he goes. Maybe if he goes somewhere that needs him and they need a
Yeah.
receiver, he's about to get, he's about to get the ball. Maybe, but then it could also, like you said, it could hurt him too because now he doesn't have that pressure taken off of him that you get from having a Debo and a Christian McCaffrey. So
Exactly.
it's a different story when you go to a
Yeah.
team that doesn't have those gimmicks and those Swiss Army knives and players in the backfield and on the outside edge, opposite Ayuk, to where he can just open up the top because you have to drop your safety down, you have to drop a linebacker down, you can't. So now if he goes to a team to where they can cover over the top, they can have that shaded, that defender, shading the outer corner or inner corner or whatever it may be. Maybe that changes a lot of stuff. Maybe he's not getting those home run balls as much, Maybe he turns more so into a Cortland Sutton. It's all about maybe it's all about situation, Maybe the 49 and they know him better than anybody else, right?
Yeah.
Like these teams, they invest millions and millions of dollars into these players, or hundreds of thousands of dollars, whatever it may be. They invest all this money to study these players. They see these players day in, day out, and they don't want to pay them like a one.
Yeah.
And it's not just because they have Debo and Christian McCaffrey. And maybe that's why other teams are so hesitant too, as well too, because they know they don't have a Christian McCaffrey and a Debo Samuel, and a George Kittle, and and a amazing defense, and just a solid. Yeah, like they don't have all of these situations that the 49ers have.
I just thought of this crazy scenario in my head that would probably infuriate you as a Broncos fan. But imagine if the Broncos do end up passing on making an offer on Ayuk, and he ends up going to like the Chiefs or the Raiders or the
Ooh,
Chargers, and then he ends up
ooh,
just torching you guys twice a year.
that was
Because like the Chargers, I could
so.
see them needing a solid wide receiver since they lost Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and both their tight ends. And I can see the Raiders using him to help out Devontae Adams, so he's not the only one
That would be a
getting.
good situation I could see because they do have Devontae Adams. You know what I mean?
And
And
then
then you
I
do
could see the
have
Chiefs doing it just to like wag their finger at people and do it, and like, haha, now we got
right.
another weapon. Yeah, I could. Oh man,
That's
that
what
would be
would
some
happen
interesting
though.
news.
That would suck for the Broncos to have to cover all of that. That's what I
Yeah.
tell you. Especially like I don't
Only if
know,
you
like
had the opportunity to get him. Like if there was an actual like feasible deal that would work, and then
yeah.
ownership passed on it, only for him to go within the division for about the same price, and then now you have to face him twice a year for however
Yeah, but I
long.
don't think they'd get him though, because it'd be kind of the same situation as
Mm-hmm.
Cortland, where it's like, do we
Mm-hmm.
really need to pay him this money? Like,
Yeah.
there's too many young players coming in, and we're gonna be in, the middle of the draft these next couple years, regardless. Like, whether it's the
Mm-hmm.
bottom middle or the top middle, we'll be in the middle of the draft. So
Yeah.
we'll be getting these receivers coming in, these next couple years. So, do you really need to pay these guys that aren't, Pro Bowl? If they're not first team,
Yeah.
second team, third team players, why do you need them? Like, there's no point in holding on to them when you're turning over and rebuilding and
Yeah. Speaking of
resetting.
people who got, big money bags over the weekend since we weren't here last week, what are your thoughts on Tua and Jordan Love getting big
Oh
money
yeah,
contracts?
I was gonna say and DJ Moore too.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, no, it's crazy, especially Jordan Love. Like Tua, I mean, I've seen Tua do it. And I guess Jordan Love won a playoff game, but I guess it's more so these teams are seeing like, yo,
They're throwing
I
money at
better pay
people.
him now because if it's like
Yeah.
this now, like I can only imagine it in three
Can you
years,
imagine now what it's going
four
to be like for
years.
the Niners to pay Purdy in a couple
That's
years?
what I'm saying. So they're probably trying to pay Purdy now, so they don't have to pay him in a couple years. So in a couple years
Yeah.
come, they'll know if they need to pay him or not. But that's the crazy thing. Like these contracts are outrageous.
They're
Like,
yeah, the idea of paying these guys this kind of money, like you better hope they're at least winning you one playoff game. Like,
well, I mean, they have to. They saw what happened with the
yeah.
PGA. You see what happened with golf with PGA
No,
and
what
Liv. Liv came in
Oh
and
yeah,
just like
yeah.
threw all this money at players and stuff, and that can happen with any league, any sport, at any time, where the Middle
So
East is
out of those
hey,
two quarterbacks I mentioned too, who do you think has really shown in the time that
Tua,
they've been a pro that the
Tua.
money that Tua? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Jordan Love's really shown anything, but we're gonna see because at the same time, I mean, it's the whole, Green Bay, it's their thinking, it's their thought. So,
Mm-hmm.
this is
My
what
only
they've
concern
done.
with Tua getting that much money is like we saw when he took all those concussions. Like, is it gonna be one more and he's done?
Right.
Kind of a thing. Like that man
maybe they
got
got
beat up a year ago, and like we
maybe they
saw his
got some
eyes roll
medical
back in his
clause
head.
in it or something. I
Yeah,
would hope so.
yeah. And then for the Jordan Love thing is like, yeah, I realized he had a great last year, but it was mainly the second half of the year that he turned it on. The first half was kind of mid to okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, they obviously believe in those guys. And as far as DJ Moore, I think that was kind of a humble signing. He could have asked for a lot more money, but just because of how the market and how it is now. But I feel like he got he earned that one. He deserved that payday that he got because he kept the Panthers relevant in the passing game when he was there, and he kind of got a lot of the time he got Justin Fields out of trouble in Chicago by having those big games.
Damn, look at this. I wish I could like pull up these articles from
Yeah.
Sleeper on here. There's this one.
Are they wild?
Yeah, kind of. Christian McCaffrey referred to Brandon Ayuk as a teammate, a former teammate. Let me see if I can pull
Oh, snap.
that up. Yeah, right.
God, oh, man. San Francisco is turning into a circus.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He called him a former teammate,
Yeah. Let
and
me
they
see if I
got
can
like
pull
practice
it
tomorrow.
up.
Man, I
Wait a
suppose you get paid like
minute.
McCaffrey. I guess you can say what you want. I guess.
I guess so. Yeah, you Chris. You can. Yeah, you can kind of. I guess you can kind of. Who's gonna say anything? Who's gonna call you out? Let's see. Gonna add this on there. Yeah. Yeah. Christian with CBS Sports.
Hmm.
Christian McCaffrey has inadvertently summed up the current situation involving Brandon Ayuk. While Ayuk is still technically with the 49ers, it seems like a foregone conclusion that the veteran receiver will soon be on a new team, as the 49ers are reportedly in talks with several teams about a trade. So this
Several
was,
teams.
yeah,
Wow, man, it's gonna be a bidding war.
this is 2 hours ago.
Oh shoot, that's.
Oh, here it is. Let's see if we can play it.
Oh man, here
Situation
we
with
go.
Brandon, just as a teammate with his, not knowing whether he's going to be here or not, the ramped up, conversation and reports about a possible trade. How do you guys deal with that in house?
No, for me, I don't deal with it. That's not part of my job. It's not part of my position. I think obviously as a former teammate or teammate of his in general, any teammate that you have, you love, you respect them, you want the best for them. As far as the business side of this,
he, he like calms so bad.
Dude, he messed up.
you want the best for them. As far as the business side of this side of it is in general, any teammate that you have, you love, you respect them, you want the best for them. The best teammate,
Oh,
a
come
former
on,
teammate, or
There we go.
teammate of his in general, any teammate that you have, you love, you respect them, you want the best for them. As far as the business side of this game goes, it's always difficult, and so I stay out of it completely. That's way above my pay grade, and I just try to focus on what I can do every single day. But obviously, we always wish the best for any of our teammates, whether they're here or not. Obviously, we hope he's here. It just, it's a tough part of the business.
Yeah.
So, like I said a couple weeks ago, where I had, I was kind of hot taking it, fading Braden and Ayuk in my drafts. Like that's a person I'm avoiding to draft. I got Debo Samuel everywhere I could get, and I'm feeling good after hearing that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's gonna be a whole lot of C-Mac, well, a whole lot of Debo, honestly, as long as Debo's healthy
I mean,
to
if
start the
C-Mac is
season
hurt,
out. Well, he's out for preseason. I don't necessarily know how hurt he is. Let's see.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting greedy, but the idea that Christian McCaffrey has that calf strain and Ayuk might be out of town,
Right?
feeling pretty hot. Drafted Debo where I have.
Yeah, but see, I feel like, and this is on Bleacher Report. Let me see if I can share. I
Okay.
feel like, yeah, that's how it goes, though. And like you won't get Christian McCaffrey in there.
Or watch, this year's gonna be a freaking Kittle year. He's gonna be healthy the whole year, and he's gonna get like
Him and
1,200.
Ayuk, both of them are gonna crush it. They just come out and they just freaking go off, both of them. Let's see.
What are they saying?
Oh, this today. Chris McCaffrey has calf injury, likely out for 2024 preseason. He just has a calf strain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it shouldn't be bad. He should, yeah, like you say, he should be fine.
Yeah, and then Elijah Mitchell's out too, so
Mm-hmm.
Jordan
It'd be
Mason.
interesting to see with all those other running backs where they come in the pecking order. Maybe
I
be
know,
like a late
unless-
round stash.
What would be crazy is if they try to use Devo more in the preseason and he gets hurt.
Oh,
That would
please.
suck.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
The 49ers, please don't do that.
Yeah.
But so since preseason's coming up right around the corner, you plan on going to any preseason games, or are you kind of not into that whole time of the year of getting
I
to
don't know. It's
live
kind of
sports?
it's fun, but it can be kind of boring too.
Yeah.
I'd rather go watch an indoor or arena football game before a preseason
Okay.
football game. But I mean, it's still cool to be able to go to that atmosphere for like a fraction of the cost. Especially if you
Yeah.
make it early enough to see the starters play.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll look into it and see. The games can be fairly decently priced. If I can get one for a good price, I might go. Still football,
Yeah.
but I think I'd
Because
rather
up
try to make
here,
it to a season game.
yeah,
Go
up
ahead.
here they're only like 15, $20 for
Yeah, that's what I
preseason
mean.
tickets.
So they're not that much for preseason games. You can
Yeah.
go and experience the atmosphere, but I feel like too it's a lot to just go and experience like and not be going to a good game because you gotta go
Mm-hmm.
through a whole lot
Yeah.
between parking and
I mean, parking up here is more than the actual tickets.
yeah, especially if you don't have like a parking pass. I guess
Mm-hmm.
parking can be kind of expensive. Well, shoot, man. Let me see. I can't think of anything else to touch on right now. Uh, like I said, I mean, we got the preseason games coming up, so let's see.
Who does because I know the Vikings are playing the Raiders. I think the Lions are playing the Giants.
Didn't
And
Chicago beat Houston?
yep. And
Yeah,
I don't
so the
know.
preseason game starts
Saturday?
Thursday, the 8th. Dang, what's
Holy
today?
crap.
Tuesday. So in like 2 days.
Wow.
Carolina, New England, and Detroit at New York. So
Did they decide on if starters are playing in those two games, or is it going to be just
oh,
rookies?
oh.
I just
Let's look
saw on
at
Sleeper, I got a notification that Joe Mixon is still not practicing.
is it a contract dispute?
I don't. It was just a little ticker that popped up, but
Uh,
just said he's still not practicing. I don't know if that's from an injury or personal reasons or contracts or,
yeah.
but because they also brought in Cam Akers too. I think last week while we were away.
Oh yeah, I think no. Well, I think that was like a couple weeks ago, right? Because we
Oh,
talked about that. I
oh,
remember we
oh,
touched on that briefly.
oh, yeah. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Joe Mixon is hurt.
Oh,
Oh
bummer.
yeah.
I drafted a bit of him where he fell to me.
Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was contract. On the second, on ESPN, there's a report Bengals running back Joe Mixon said he agreed to take a pay cut. Oh, wait, no. He took a pay cut, so maybe he was hurt. Weird. Yeah. But either way, so yeah, I don't know if the starters are playing. I imagine they probably play for like a couple series,
Yeah.
you
I'm a
know,
huge
like
football nerd,
usually.
so I'd still tune in for a couple quarters at least, see what's going
Yeah.
on.
So yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we got quite a bit of games. I mean, the whole league is playing between now and next week. So next week we'll have some
We
good,
are what, like 20 days away from the season starting?
woo, almost there.
It's gonna go fast. Now it's gonna
It's
be like
gonna
a
be
whole
great.
downhill roll where it's
That's what
just
I'm
all
saying.
gonna.
So you guys, tune in, tell us your teams, comment in, tell us what leagues you're doing, what leagues you're playing in when you have drafts. Tell
What
us how we can
strategies have
tune
been
in.
working for you?
Exactly. Like talk to us, people. We love that a lot more than just, rambling on, trying to give you some information. But we're also happy to give you information
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. Yeah.
You know, we'll bring you the pain, we'll bring you the information, we'll bring you what you need. That's just what we do around here. At Shady Sports Fantasy Report. So thank you guys. I mean, yeah. You guys always were just sitting here trying to stay on top of stuff, getting
Hell
that
yeah.
news out to you guys.
All the time.
All the time, Justin. I mean, thank you, man.
Hey, hell yeah. I'm happy to be here.
Bro, like you're always bringing top-notch information for sure. I'd say
I
like,
try to stay on top of it.
that's good. And no, it's awesome. I mean, because not having Shawnee around, usually Shawnee's the info, and the
man.
knowledge. So having you here to like, handle that and bring all the news and all the good stuff.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to be his Robin to Batman.
Hey, I'm glad to have both of you guys. That's all I'll say. So,
Yeah.
it's a pleasure to have you guys here. If you guys haven't been around, please hit that like button, follow, subscribe. Most of all, share. Tell your friends about it. Share it out to all your friends. It does not hurt. It does not cost a thing to share. So please just share us out. Follow, subscribe, set that that calendar button, that notification button, so you'll get notified. And we're coming at you every Tuesday, following through, ramping up to the league, getting ready. We're gonna be talking about our draft. I'm gonna have my draft live stream. I might try to do it on Tuesday just to get it
I can't wait to see your
show.
team when it comes out.
I know it's gonna be crazy. We'll see how it comes together. That's gonna be interesting because
I'm
we
thinking
just
now after
randomized
today's
our
show, I don't think
picks.
there's gonna be any Broncos on there.
There might be a kicker. I might get Will Lutz.
Right.
But
Alright.
like there may be I always get like one or two Broncos. I gotta have one or two.
Yeah, I'm the same way with Lions. I mean, if I don't end up taking like the studs in the early rounds, I just like have on my bench to be like, yeah, I still repping. Still
Yep.
got a player or two.
Yeah, exactly. Like just to kind of have them. Like I'll take them no matter
Yep.
what. Even if I'm exactly like cursing at the screen when I use them, I'll take them. I'll have them use the roster spot. Because sometimes, like, I mean, a lot of these roster spots are you even using them anyway. Honestly, like,
Yeah.
you probably didn't draft the best if you're having to use every single one of your roster spots. So I don't mind. I don't mind being a homer. I'll have a couple Broncos. I'll have maybe Javante or Jaleel or Cortland or heck, even Bo Nix. Because hey, I tell you what, if he pops, he'll pop in a big way, and it's gonna be a big, solid way fantasy wise.
Could be a Drew Brees, Sean Payton situation.
Yeah, man. Look at Anthony Richardson before he got hurt. He was going off. So,
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just kind of going through these.
No, you're good. You're good.
That's probably how it'll be if you have any
Every
Broncos.
Sunday, just you,
Yeah. No, but no. It's
Except
gonna
when
be
you play the
interesting to
Raiders,
see how
right?
it goes, huh?
Except when you guys play the Raiders, right? You're gonna smash them.
Well, that's the story of my life. No respect. No respect.
That's how I feel about the Raiders. No respect about the Raiders. They don't even care about the Raiders. Although I dealt with some Raider fans the other day. They were pretty cool.
Really?
But yeah, like I definitely won't have any Raiders players unless it's like Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if it's like
You don't like the
thin
mustache?
week on the. You see, they got the mustache battle.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Did you hear
Yeah.
about their Kermit the Frog stunt they played on Mahomes?
Mahomes, no, but our radio station they have a little Kermit the Frog, little soundbite they do for Mahomes. It's hilarious. I gotta find one.
You guys have it wild down there. I mean, up here between the rivalries, they're so bitter and not really fun. But that
Yeah.
sounds pretty fun down there at the teams.
Yeah, because I mean we're losing too, so it's like all we can do is jab up, right?
Just shots fired all over the place.
Yeah, right. Well, shoot, maybe next week we'll talk about rivalries and if you're
Hey, that'd be
drafting
cool.
players, how does that affect
I
your
like
draft?
talking
Like, are
shit
you
about
picking
the
up
Bears.
players? Yeah, right. So we'll talk about how if you're picking up players from the Bears or from your rival teams, or is it that better enough to where you're not even paying attention to it? So we'll touch on that. We'll try to recap this first week of preseason, see if we can
Oh,
pick
for
up on
sure.
anything. Because I guess what are you looking for really more so? We'll look into that and see how we feel coming out of these games. If anything's changed as far as
Any
our
more
rankings, we'll go back and
injuries,
revisit.
trades?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So we'll go back and revisit, and then yeah. So guys, come back, tune in next week. Thank you for joining us. I don't know. I don't think I have anything else. You got anything else, Justin?
Just talk about this at your work break room. Spread it to your kids' softball games or stuff. Just get the word
Tell
out.
everyone.
Yeah, tell everyone. Talk about us. We're here to help you. We're here to be a part of your fantasy life, your fantasy team, and get you championships and get you ready for the season. And we really would appreciate it if we could get that recognition, that noise, that crowdsourcing to get our show out there to other people so they have more references when it comes to fantasy football, a fresher talk, a fresher take on things. And it really goes a long way. Just so if you can smash like, subscribe, comment, and spread this on your socials as best as you can and get the word out because we appreciate your voice and your comments when you join us and watching us, and part of what we're doing here is for you.
Yep. Yep. Yes. Yes. Yes, as he said. So hit that
I like
like,
these buttons you got.
dude. They're gonna come in handy, especially when we get more people on. So come and join us, guys. We can have you
And
on.
hopefully Shawnee's on next week.
Yeah. Oh, well, I gotta stop it. Oh man. Yeah. Hopefully Shawnee's on. We can get some
that's hype.
suspense going. We can get some, get some back and forth going. Get some
'Cause I think
different
it'd be cool at some
opinions.
point if we could get like a round table going.
That's the goal. So yeah, we want people to come on. So hit us up. Hit me up at 303 bandwagon.
Bandwagon. Yep.
Yeah. I think that's it on X. 303 bandwagon. Cedric Green everywhere else. Justin, was it as Teixeira?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Teixeira at
Yeah, here it
Discord
shows
and
on here.
Sleeper.
Let me move these banners. It'll show on there. There we go. So it's kind of
Yeah,
small.
so you can
But
find me on
see.
Discord at Teixeira, Sleeper at Teixeira. My Facebook's Justin Tessier. Snapchat is Justin.Tessier. Anything with your fantasy questions, your comments, you want to show it in my face about advice that you used, that's cool. I'm here to help and answer all questions effectively and to get you your best possible outcome in your drafts and, keep that word spreading. And also, if you're feeling like spicing up your fantasy football game, join Ced's league. Put
Yeah.
that money down. Put your money where your mouth is. Beat these
Yes. Hit me
guys.
up. At 303 bandwagon. I'll get you in there. It's on Sleeper. Oh, so if you're in the Sleeper app, hit me up. I think I'm Cedric Green on there, I believe. Yeah, Green said at Green said on Sleeper at Green said. So here, I'll put this in.
Screenshot your snipes of his picks. Snipe them.
Let's see. Yeah, so come join us. We have fun. It's a fun league. It's a redraft. Superflex. I think this year we have a Superflex.
Ooh,
Quarterback,
spicy.
second quarterback. Yeah, man. Kind of build it up. So, come join us and join on the Sleeper app. I'm gonna figure out if they have some kind of affiliate program or some kind of sponsor program at Sleeper. Tag them, tag us. Follow, like, subscribe, guys. As always, it's a pleasure. Thanks for joining us. And we're here. Hit us up. Send us your questions. Come join in. Let's talk fantasy football. Season's almost here.
Hell yeah.
Be easy, guys.
Peace.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.
Oh, man. Forgot
Hell
to
yeah.
end it.